Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Miss Trina with Chat with Trina. And today is Super Tuesday Talk with Chat with Trina. I'm so excited. I have a guest. And my guest is on my side of the world and actually from my area because I just found out I didn't know that Rodney, Ellis, I didn't know I was I'm in Acres Homes.
Okay,
So I
yep,
was
you're pretty
there and I was like, oh.
You're pretty
But
soon.
anyway, guys, I first tell y'all that I did vote today, and as I tell you all the time, please early vote because you don't want to wait till election day. You never car can break down. I don't know. Your cat gets sick, whatever it is, it can happen on election day. So we got 2 weeks. Let's get it. Okay, so get out there, vote, and I was just sharing with Miss Tanisha before we came on. I'm going to say this real quick that I'm always kind of emotional when it comes to voting because I think it's my privilege. It's just a good feeling to know that people fought for this, and now I'm lucky to be able to get out my car and go and just do it. But today, most of y'all know my dad passed away, and it's very recent. But he was so excited when he found out he was in the hospital when Kamala was passed the torch by our awesome President Biden, and got to see that. He was very excited, and he got to see both debates and everything. And when I put my ballot into the box, tears started just welling up, and I started crying. I wasn't boohooing today. That's for another day. But I just thought my daddy would have loved this, and he didn't get to hang on long enough to get to vote in this historical election that people are taking. And it's just a real. It was heavy today, but then I got in the car and I said, you know what, Daddy, I got you because I did it and I did it for both of us. But you know what, Tanisha, I was careful by typing that on Facebook because I had to put it away because I said, see, somebody see that and be like, she done went in there and voted for somebody. Like, let me make sure my words are accurate when I say this. I need them coming to looking for me. But anyway, y'all, I have Miss Tanisha Manning from the Office of Commissioner Rodney Ellis. And did you see my email that he's a friend of my uncle's? My uncle
Really?
used to work for him, intern for him years ago in
Really?
Austin, a long time ago. So
He
fun
might
fact.
remember. He remembers a lot.
Yeah,
A lot of
when you
people.
think about it, just think Curvey or say Curvey, he'll definitely know him. But
Okay.
anyway, let's get y'all see my say it to my face. And I
Okay.
told y'all in my book, say it to my face. So we're gonna get going. And Miss Nisha, I'm so thankful and grateful that you took the time out of what I know is a busy schedule to come on and share with my viewers. So let's get to it. Talk to us about what you do for the office.
Okay. So, hey, everybody. I'm Tanisha Manning. I am a community affairs advisor for Commissioner Ellis. I've been in this role about 2 years. I previously was a policy advisor for him for about 2 years. So, I've been working for the office for 4 years now. In my role, I cover the southeast region of the precinct for the office. So, Sunnyside, South Park, Third Ward, South Union, OST. Those are usually the areas that I'm in geographically. But I also work on criminal justice issues, economic equity, and voting rights issues, which is a big thing for our office. So is geographic, the work that we do, showing up to events in our region and whatnot, and connecting with people in our region. And it's also very driven by policy priorities. And so that's kind of what I work on. It's a joy. I know who I work for. I'm intentional about, when I said I wanted to work for an elected official, it was very intentional because Commissioner absolutely is grounded in one, understanding and knowing your right to vote and protecting that right to vote. So that's a little bit about it. I'm from Houston, born and raised. I'm from Sunnyside. So
Okay, okay.
yeah, so it all overlaps.
Well, wrap it together. Yeah. I also meant to tell you when I was telling you some of the things I did. I also did. There's um a venue called the Bar, and this lady owns called oh my God, On the Rocks, which is a new place. I did for this year. I did the voter registration on my own this year, and it was just me and a friend.
That's
It
okay.
was great. Did the first one we did it there on what was it? So it was cool. It was outside, but then for 2 nights in a row, Friday and Saturday, in September, I did it at Club Chicago Bar and Grill. And you
Okay.
would believe that because I go out, I do a lot of going out, I work for clubs and stuff like that. So I was like, be
Meet them
do
where they are.
part of, right? And so many people told the owner how amazing they thought it was that we brought voter registration there. And the funny thing is, most people were registered, but what they were interested in was making sure they were still on the roster.
Yep.
And it really was so many people came up and let me check them and make sure they were still on that roster. I'm excited about getting to do that the next time again because that was my first time I did that, and that was
Yes.
much
I
more.
love
So
that you did that. And that's important to note because people, I have a cousin who we vote together and he was
mhm,
like, my name is not on the list anymore. I'm like, oh, well, let's go ahead and fix that. I
that
tell people it's not uncommon states to clean up the voter rolls.
mhm,
That is
mhm.
actually common, because if someone is deceased, if someone has moved away, if someone hasn't voted in like 10 years, that makes sense. We can go ahead and remove those names from the list. But what has happened is it becomes almost a voter suppression tactic because it just so happens that many, Black and brown individuals are removed or many from a certain area. This happened in Georgia, the last presidential election. A lot of names were removed from the poll. And it happened so quickly before voter registration deadline, so soon before. And, with us in Texas, you can't register to vote online. You still have to mail it in. So that was real important that you did that, just so people could check. Like, hey, make sure I'm
it was
good.
really, it was really, it was a good different something different that I. But my mom works. Matter of fact, she's worked. Is it 7 yet? She works the early voting every year, and she was amazed that she was not on the list. She was removed from the list.
Wow, wow.
Also, what made it so when she came with me and she made sure she told people they're like, oh no no no, I know I worked the polls every year since I retired, and I was out of it. So yeah,
Wow.
it's a thing. So, talk to us about why the election is this year is so important. And as I mentioned, I've had people tell me, y'all always say it's important. Talk to us about why all elections are important, but especially this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it every year. At our office, we say it, literally your life is on the line. And I know that typically I'm a millennial.
Mm-hmm.
We resist that statement, because it's like you say that and then we wake up the next day and everything is still the same. But it's like, but is it really? Um, and so this election is a historical for many reasons, all right? Of course, we have a Black woman on the ballot at the presidential level. This could be the opportunity for the first Black woman to be elected as president. But even if you keep going down the ballot, right? Texas, we have a senator. We every state has two senators. We currently have a senator that is on the ballot, and right now the Senate could possibly, be flipped if enough Democrats, were to win the seat. And so right now we have a Republican, and we both of our senators are Republican, but um, a lot of decisions at the federal level, while everybody thinks that it's the president making the decision, it's Congress. And so if you have a Senate that is all of a sudden not just fully Republican or majority, shall I say, Republican, then this and all eyes are on Texas because we're such a large state, and we are so influential in decisions that are made at the federal level. So that's just, at the state level. Then we take it down even further, and I was jotting down some notes. We have state board of education members right now. It's a hot topic for HISD, which the state has taken over HISD, and there's a bond proposition on the ballot. Do we want to give HISD 4.4 billion with the B dollars to for the district? And so voters get to decide yes or no, which a bond is essentially kind of like a credit card because you're going to have to pay it back. And even at the state level, all of our state representatives are on the ballot. And I tell people, state has a lot of say. So even for us at the county, you know, our county attorney is constantly back and forth in court battling lawsuits
Yeah.
that are filed from the state level. And so, you know, we get to determine who sits in those seats, you know, and there's a legislative session that begins in January. And so, you know, now we have to look at which state senators and state reps are making state law for us, you know, really having to bring it down home to people like, how do I
Mm-hmm.
bring this to your backyard? Because what we see is just the presidential level, and I have to explain, like, yes, it's absolutely important to vote for the president, but some of the things that are going to touch you in your day-to-day lives is at your state and your even further local level. It's a lot
Absolutely.
of judges on the ballot, a lot of judges from family law, probate law. You know, does your family have a will? Does you know your elders have wills? How do we separate or distribute property and things after your loved one passes away? That's a probate judge that will be helping making those decisions. A lot of criminal judges, you know, for Black and brown communities. Criminal justice is really important to us. And I even tell my own family, like, hey, you know that the judge that you feel like did not decide this case fairly is elected. You get to elect, and they're like, oh, what? So we have a lot of county and district judges that are on the ballot as well. It's just, it's important because one, we have one of the longest ballots in America. Harris
Oh
County
my
has.
God, yes. 76 pages, I think.
I was gonna say, how long did it take you? About 10,
I think
15
it was
minutes to get
76
through?
pages. I told y'all I was all excited, but then I was like, whoo, have a chair.
Just keep clicking. And so it's important because it's historical. You know, we could potentially put at the federal level if we want to keep it at the presidential level.
Mm-hmm.
There's a potentially a Supreme Court justice that may retire, you know, and so the next president has the ability to appoint, and then the Senate will approve another Supreme Court justice. And we see the decisions that have come down from the Supreme Court, you
Absolutely.
know, affirmative action, overturning Roe versus Wade. Like, these are things that have trickled down to our everyday lives. And so even when I was saying the HIZ, even at the state level, the Texas State Board of Education, these members are elected. They decide what textbooks our public schools are reading, and they don't have to have a degree in education. And so they're elected. So we're like, okay, are they banning books? You know, these are real conversations.
Real
So it's
conversation.
very, very important. County attorney, a district attorney, all of this is on the ballot. So I hope that kind of just
It
puts into perspective.
does. And
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question, and this is something I didn't know. I guess I saw, and it's very ignorant of me, I guess. I just didn't know. Bonds are not like grants. So bonds we do have to pay back.
Yes, we
Really?
do
You
have to.
not know that.
Yeah, we do have to
Like
pay
a
that.
big deal of when we gonna approve or not approve. Okay. Well, thank
Yeah,
you. I definitely did not realize that.
yeah, it's not
God.
immediate. You know, it's over time, but
Right.
essentially
Still,
it has to be
I
paid.
would assume that it was a grant, like a grant.
Yes, it's not a grant. We want people to
Okay.
know that the flood control tax rate is also on the ballot. You know, and when it rains in Houston, you can expect some water. And so,
Yep.
flood control is asking, can they increase the tax rate? Asking voters, will they approve increasing the tax rate for flood mitigation efforts, you know, maintenance efforts? And voters have the ability to say yes or no, you know, if they want, you know, that increase or not. So these are real things that are on
That
our
was
ballot.
one I didn't. That was one that shocked me today when I got to it. I was like, let me try
Oh
to
man,
read
you
it.
should have waited. I could have broken down for you.
I
But
didn't.
it's
That was
okay.
like I thought I was prepared, but that was the one that I did. I was not ready for. So, which is why I'm glad you're saying these things because sometimes you. I knew about the of course, the presidential part. I knew most of those, the education, all that, but that one those always throw me off every time. And so actually it's going to be my goal for the next elections to have people come on to break those. It's so long. You got
Yeah.
to read it. And people don't always understand the wording, if that makes sense. So I think that's something else that I want to kind of bring to my audience about different things that are on the
Yeah.
ballot like that. Because we don't always hear about it. It passes by the news, pass
Yeah.
here or there. but you really don't know what it is.
Yep, and I tell people, listen, I have a law degree, and that's not to brag, but that's to say, even with my law degree, I read some of those propositions. I'm like, what is this
What?
thing? And then it's like agree or disagree. I'm like, I do not know, and
I
so
don't know. Exactly.
right,
Exactly.
so
It
it
was the
is
last
important to break
and I
that
think
down.
there were several of them on there. And I'm like, I can read dissertations. What? So
I feel you.
um I also wanted to see if you so you told us what's on the ballot. One more time, just kind of emphasize why it's important to early vote.
Yes. So it's important to early vote because kind of what you stated. First of all, anything can happen on election day. And a lot of people they do take pride in voting on election day. Typically, my grandparents are like, "We are going on. Hey, I don't stop you." But it's so many people, right?
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that your vote is counted. You know, as long as you're in line, first of all, your vote will count.
Right,
But
right.
it helps us to really just break down or cut off a lot of the traffic and the mishaps and the things that tend to happen on election day. Some can say it's intentional, some can say it's unintentional, right? The
Hmm,
good thing
hmm.
in Harris County, no matter where you live, you know, I've got a text message yesterday, like I live in this zip code, where can I vote? I said anywhere. In Harris
Yeah.
County, you can vote at any location within the county, no matter where your zip code, because the ballot is going to pull up the same way
Right.
on the machines,
Or
right?
you can go to Harris County. One of my consultants texted me early this morning, Miss Trina, I'm in Gregory Lincoln. Where can I go vote? I was like, hold on. And I had to pull over because I told you I was having issues with that. Let me find you. Let me put this in. Here's where you go. So, yeah.
Go to
Okay.
harrisvotes.com,
Mhm.
literally put in your current location, and it'll tell you locations near you and the wait time. So
Oh,
it's so many opportunities to see. Like,
love
hey,
that.
it's a 5 minute wait here, maybe a 10 minute wait here, or it's a
Mhm.
0 minute wait, and this is
Mhm.
right around the corner from you. So harrisvotes.com, our county clerk, her office is working nonstop around the clock to get out information. There, I will say that there was a text message going around saying like, if there is some initials or something on your ballot that it won't count, that is false. The county clerk has put out like her initial is on the ballots or the presiding clerk, you know, at the location, so your vote will still count once it goes in that machine is counted. So you know, we want to that's why it's important to early vote because sometimes
Mhm.
people get to the day of voting and then they have all these questions. And I'm like, we could have resolved these a
Mhm.
long
Mhm.
time ago.
I
um,
usually work the election day, and it breaks my heart when someone comes up, especially someone that just turned 18 and things weren't
yeah,
done at the right time, that kind of thing. It breaks my heart, and that's why early voting is good too. Because if something happens, you don't have something, you got time to fix it before
right,
actual election day. So that's the
right.
reason why it's important. And I'm not going to hold you much longer, but I do want to bring this to, I want to give a shout out, but I also want you to have this in your mind to pass on that Third Ward Tours, they call themselves, oh my gosh, Let's Do This Houston Third Ward Tours. They're the bike riding company who I love and I always love, but I have been fussing about it, and I don't know if anybody heard me or not, but like all y'all people with these limousine services, all these bus ride, all these bikes, y'all need to be advocating for vote. And again, it might not be what you heard me say, but I thought they have a bike ride to teach you about it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So
Love it.
that's all. I want to give a shout out to my people at Third Ward Tours. Let's do this, Houston. Thank you,
Yes,
thank you, thank you. I don't know where you got the idea from, but I'm glad you did it. So
glad
yeah.
you did. Thank you.
Yes. I want to shout out to Chicago Bar and Grill's owner. I'm on the north side here for allowing me to come in and my mom to come in and have our voter registration. I just want to shout those two things out so you can kind of keep that in mind and tell that to Mr. Ellis. Let him know that there
Yeah.
are people doing some amazing, new, exciting things.
I
So
love it. I love it.
I
And
think
I
it's
want to
great.
shout out League of Women Voters. We don't tap into candidates as much, but they have their voter guide printed and online. You can stop by one of our community centers and get their voter guide. We also have a precinct one voter guide that kind of guides you through just tips to know before you go vote. And so just make sure you're informed. Like you said, it's a long ballot. It's a lot. Take your sample ballot. You can take a scratch sheet of paper, a sticky note to the polls with you, as long as you don't take your phone,
I was
inside the
just about to
poll.
ask you. You have to take you can't have your phone. You have to turn it
Can't have
off
your
or
phone. Yes,
gotcha.
but it can be just a little sheet of paper. It can be a big sheet of paper. Paper handwritten notes is absolutely fine, or it can be typed on there. But sheets of paper is fine, but you cannot have your phone. And so, wanted to shout out those partners.
Yeah.
Thank you to our county clerk for everything that she has been doing to get us ready for the election.
Yes. Well, Miss Tanisha, her name is Tanisha, but she's the Toni.
Oh, that's
Thank you so much for joining me. I know y'all are busy. I wish y'all the best, and definitely keep Miss Trina with Chat with Trina on in mind. I will bring you my podcast to y'all if I need to. Just let
yes.
let you know. So
Okay.
thank you so much, guys. Make sure that y'all go to youtube.com/chat with Trina. I still always need subscribers. But check me out, subscribe, and then hit the little bell so you can know when I upload a new video. Tanisha, don't go off just yet. Bye, guys.
Bye.